Good evening, Hobby World. Thanks for joining us live tonight for episode 35 of Personal Rips and Hobby Chat. Joining me is Ken from Beans Beat Card Blog, and I'm Herman, aka 3B Collections. We're here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern to talk about our hobby and yours. Feel free to join into the conversation and chat. I guess I should revise that. We're here almost every Monday night.
It happens, brother.
We missed last Monday. I had some stuff come up, and at the end of the day, this is a hobby, and there's some things that take precedence over cards. So,
absolutely,
we got that taken care of, and hopefully, if we press on here, we'll be good.
Monday. Hey, everybody.
We got Diego with us. Welcome. Bo, good to have you. Missed y'all last week. Like I said, I really wanted to do it. I hated to not do it, but like I said, things come up, things happen. I think it's been a while.
All good.
Yep.
We were talking before. I mean, I think the guys that are in here in the chat and the guys that watch us, I mean, we consider them hobby friends, and I think they think of us the same way. And hey, man, you know what? Like you said, it's a hobby, and sometimes we got things we got to take care of. All good. There's gonna come a day where I'm gonna have to miss one, and you're gonna be flying solo.
Ooh, yep. Dun, dun. More than likely.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. But so hey, I mean, I tried to keep up, but it was kind of hard. I joined in with Bo in the mornings when I could. Usually it was more of a just drop in and say hey, and it was in the background, but I didn't. It's not that I'm getting tired of it. I'm not. I love it. I mean,
yeah, I think
I've been working on my projects. I've got a couple of things that came in this week that I'm looking forward to showing off. A couple of them, especially that I've been wanting for a long time, and they kind of fell in my lap. So,
are you gonna make a video and post on YouTube?
Nah, I'm just gonna show it here tonight.
Come on.
I mean, we gotta have something for tonight. We can't just save it all for later.
What do you mean? I sent you a list of things.
Yeah, you did.
I did. Well. But yeah, no, I've, since we've started doing this show, I've noticed that I'm spending less time like in my evenings and stuff on Twitter. And I mean, not just Mondays, but throughout 7 days of the week. And, you and I were talking, and I'm spending less time on the hobby. And, while I still know what's going on and I still keep an eye out, I've talked a lot on Twitter about, the hobby burnout. And, speaking of, and I forgot, this was actually a talk I thought about mentioning with you. I have seen more hobby burnout talk from people in the last week or two than I think I've seen, definitely in any 1 or 2 week period ever. But it's just definitely, it's seeming to get to a lot more people, it seems like. And I think it's the guys like us, and the guys in the chat that have collected for a long time. And it's just, we talk about sometimes you need to evolve how you collect, but, some people are just, they're in their ways, or what they collect, just the prices are ridiculous. But I've gone personally from a hobby fatigue to almost a hobby indifference. I'm not spending nearly that much time on it. I'm not paying as much attention. I'm, on social media, and I don't miss all those hours that I used to do that. But I'm still here. We're still here. We ain't going nowhere.
Right. Yeah. It's and even like Bo and George has said, it's turned into springtime. The weather's nice. You want to get out. You want to do other things. It's something has to take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
You spend all winter, and then, like in the case of like COVID last year, you spend all your time locked up in a house. When you can actually get out, you want to get out.
And it literally, this just hit me. We were talking about a year ago we were talking about the new normal, and I don't mean in the hobby. I just mean, with life in general of, staying in and not doing things. But, we're starting to see as things open up, across the country, that what we thought was that new normal now, like you said, Bo's getting out and doing it, working in his garden, and he's biking,
he's
got things
bicycling
going on. Yeah. Bicycle.
So, all right. Well, I mean, he poses a good question. He's like, when it comes to burnout, is it more about the cards collecting or more of the negativity in the hobby? He said he's kind of been frustrated with the with cards related to the more of social media aspect of it. So,
and I mean, and I get what he's saying, and he's probably on to something. But I am, I've evolved, and the problem is, I've talked about this, I think, on, with you, and if I haven't, I've talked about it on other YouTube videos. I've never been one that's been super focused. I grew up in that time when we could collect everything, so I kind of want to collect everything. And I'm also of the, I'll be doing something, and then it's like, hey, squirrel, because I have so many projects I want to do. And I feel like I'm getting off of what he was asking, but I do think it's a lot of, and I don't necessarily want to say negativity, because, to be honest, a lot of people call me very negative. I like to think that I'm a realist, but I think a lot of what it is just the same stuff being shoved down our throat, whether it be on Twitter, whether it be on YouTube, or wherever it is, and it's stuff that I don't care about, or I just don't like. And I've got a tweet I wanted to put out, and I meant to put it out this afternoon and didn't do it. But, we talked about how if you go to a card show in the last 15 to 18 months, every damn table looks the same. You've heard that, I think, we're working with T about that, maybe. Every table looks the same. Well, you know what? When you look at Twitter and you look at YouTube, it's the same thing. Every channel in general looks the same. Not all channels, but the guys that aren't necessarily putting out the content about what they particularly collect. Do I really need another interview with the same person talking about grading for the third time? I don't need to hear more about Project 2021 or Project whatever. I don't really care to hear more people talking about their adventures and looking for retail. It's right. Like every channel, every live stream is now like every table at a card show. 90% of them are the same.
You're right.
So anyway, would that be a rant? Was that Bean rant number 1 for the night?
Yeah, that's number 1. You've got 2 more.
Number 1. We got more to come.
Yeah, I agree with you. When it comes to social media, it's like it's always either I'm third in line and there's 2 chairs in front of me, or it's always something about retail, and I get it, but I gave up on retail months ago. I don't even look anymore.
But what I want to see is the collectors sharing the things that they've picked up. I love, seeing, when take some of the stuff that Mark posts, stuff that I've never seen, that I'm never going to see. That's the content that I enjoy. And I'm talking both Twitter and a YouTube perspective. And even on the podcast and all these content creators, it's the same thing. Even on podcasts, it's the same recycled guests over and over. I love listening to Dr. Beckett talk, but when everybody's got him on their podcast and they're asking 90% of the questions are the same thing.
Same question, yep.
I don't need that. And like I said, as much as I love listening to Dr. Beckett talk, I feel like in some ways I could almost recite his damn collecting journey.
His origin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that's I've actually, and that you say that, I've actually reached out. I said a couple of weeks ago that we're actually getting a card shop here in my hometown, and it's a guy that I went to high school with. We actually graduated together. I ran into him last week, and I've got to go back and talk to him this week, but I'm trying to get him on. I want to do an interview with him and kind of do his origin story and how he came about. And I already know because I've read it on Facebook, but how he come about opening the store up, and it's real, dude. It'll rip your heart out.
And that's something different. That's what I want to hear.
He's had some issues with the COVID and stuff like that, and that's kind of how he's come about this opening the store up. But like I said, I've got to actually sit down and ask him if he would be cool with it, but I don't think he would have a problem because he's a big internet guy. He's developed apps for. I'm trying to think what it is, and I'll have to find out more. But I mean, he's a big internet guy, so I feel sure that he'll come on and talk with us. So
sounds like a plan. I'd love to do it.
So where do you want to start? You want to start with your poll?
Sure. Let's have at it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pull it up. You go ahead and introduce it.
I did a poll Friday, and I'm going to start trying to see if we can come up with some polls, some topics, things like that, where we can maybe run them on Friday through Sunday night. I haven't even discussed this with Herman, but I figured maybe, if we got something on the top of my mind I want to ask, let's do that and let's get some responses, and then we can talk on it. And I think that you and I can talk this as, I'm a recovering player collector. You are a degenerate player collector. But what I was asking was, because everybody collects differently. Everybody has a different reason they collect their favorite player. But I was asking, if you have a player collection, whoever it is, and again, you may have multiple player collections, so you may yes or no on different guys. Do you collect? I was trying to be specific on the wording. For the player collection that I've had the most diehard player collection of, I only collect his items in Chicago Blackhawks uniform and colors. He also played 4 years, I think, for the Montreal Canadiens, and I don't give a shit about that stuff. I hate the Canadiens. I stopped actively collecting his new stuff when he went to the Canadiens. But I just wanted to know if, like I said, if people collected everything, and we had a lot of great comments. One of them was, when did you, it could depend on when you started collecting them. Are you a fan of the player, or is it because they just played for your favorite team, which is kind of what happened here with Andrew Shaw. I kind of had an attachment. When I was a teenager, and I was probably in like 8th grade, I think my parents got me a stereo. They started buying me that adult type stuff as gifts that I could take with me when I moved out. Well, I was able to get WMVP out of Chicago, 1000 AM. I lived in West Virginia, and I could get that channel after about 9 o'clock at night. And I started listening to Blackhawks games, and I became a Blackhawks fan. I was a player collector. I was a Jeremy Roenick collector before we even knew what super collectors were. And it was a lot tougher back then with no eBay. But anyway, after time, I, kind of went away from that because they weren't my local team. Indianapolis, moved to a new place in Indianapolis, had a new cable system that had the Chicago sports, channel. I can't remember what it was called at the time. It's been 7 different things in the past 15 years. But Blackhawks, they played the Blackhawks games. So I decided to, start watching the Blackhawks. First game I caught, Andrew Shaw's very first game. He scored a goal and he had a fight. He had 2/3 of the Gordie Howe hat trick. And I started collecting his cards. He was my guy. And, it just went from there. It just so happened it was the first hockey game I'd watched. I mean, I guess I'd watched some Penguins when I was in Pittsburgh, but it was the first hockey game, watching what had been my team again. And, I definitely had at one point, if I don't still, I did have I have had Andrew collector was. And like I said, when I went away, when he went to the Canadiens, I didn't really care, and it just got me thinking, how do other people do it? I knew you and I could talk about it because you have at least 2 player collections, and I can present it to you 2 different ways. Because you've got Dale Murphy, who played, 85, 90% of his career with the Braves. Then he played a year or 2, whatever, with Philly, and then whatever part of a year with Colorado. Now, I take you as an entire player collector, but we talked a few weeks ago about that Cooperstown card Dufex that I wanted to get when he's with the Rockies. And I believe you had said you didn't even know about that card.
No.
So do you only collect Dale Murphy cards with the Braves? Or do you only search out Dale Murphy cards and you'll take Phillies and Rockies as they come along? How does that work for you?
I am mainly a Murphy collector in Braves uniform, but however, now I do have the base, what you would consider base, which back then base was Tops, Donruss, Fleer, Upper Deck, But I'm not going out looking for inserts and parallels or whatever may exist beyond that, which I think is what the card you're talking about kind of is.
It was a parallel of an insert.
Right. So I'm not going hunting those out. But now, if I get to the point where I have, which I'm a long way from it, but if I get to a point where I have every Dale Murphy card I can get of him in a Braves uniform, I may well start back and look for some of the others. But as of right now, I've got the base, all his base Phillies, which what was it, 2 years? Three?
I want to say years. 90, not 91, 92. Was it 90 as well? No, 90 was Brave stuff. No, unless he was traded that year.
It was 91, 92, and I want to say 93. And the card you're talking about was 95.
I think they're 93. Wasn't 93 was the Rockies' first season. So okay. It might have been where he was with the Phillies, in Tops. He was with the Phillies because Tops came out in February. This was from Pinnacle, which probably came out later in the year. It might have been it. Yeah. Pinnacle was 2 series at one point, so who knows?
Which, I mean, like you said, he didn't even spend the whole season with the Rockies. So, and like I said, I don't actively hunt those down like I do like in a Braves uniform. So, if I come across them and it's something that I feel like it's worth it, I'll pick it up. But I'm not gonna go out on a limb and grab something of Dale Murphy, Phillies, or especially a Rockies uniform. But,
I definitely like some of the comments. And then what I was going to ask you is, you have a current player. What if Freddie Freeman played for a second team? Are you going to stop? Are you going? He goes to wherever.
And where he's at right now with his contract, that's kind of what I've been going back and forth with, because he's actually his contract actually runs out this year. And there's been no negotiation of extension. And he's actually even expressed the fact that he's not interested in discussing it during the season. So once the season started, he's not going to talk about it. So it's kind of like he's in limbo until the end of the year.
So he's wearing Yankee pinstripes next year. What happens?
God, why did you have to go Yankees?
Well, I did because in my case, the Canadians are one of the teams I hate most. Honestly, or say a rival, say the Mets or Phillies or whoever, say a division rival even.
Yeah, honestly, I would say because he is current, I probably would keep going. Whatever team. Because I'm telling you, Freddie Freeman is outside. He is a lot more outside of baseball, or as much outside of baseball as he is in baseball. He does a lot of charity work. He does a lot of stuff for like children's hospitals and stuff like that. I mean, he's just an all-around good guy. And if Atlanta lets him go, regardless of how his performance is, they're crazy. I'll say that as an Atlanta fan. They're crazy. Because he is a big draw. I mean, I know you got Acuna as far as the rookies and stuff like that, but as far as a overall team or a draw for the team. He's all of it. He's every bit of what Chipper Jones was when he was playing.
Is he though? Because you got Acuna on that team. He's overshadowed by Acuna.
He is because he's the hot rookie, and he has the big contract. But I mean, he's more of a franchise player, I believe, and I'm probably gonna get some kickback on this. He's more of a franchise player than Acuna ever will be.
I have no opinion on that, but I was just kind of saying the way you had said that. And I mean, there's another thing, because there's so many things that can happen, or so many, not things can happen, so many factors. Because, I mean, I feel like I've heard people say Freeman at his pace, I mean, he's at least at worst, a borderline Hall of Famer, isn't he?
Yes.
At very worst, he's a borderline Hall of Famer. So that can play a factor. Bo said, right now, the only side Cubs he searches for are Sandberg in a Phillies uniform. And that makes a difference because while he loves Sandberg, and part of that's because he was a Cub, he was with another team first. So if you want to have his rookies there with another team is where Murphy, Andrew Shaw for me, and just potentially Freddie Freeman are the opposite way. They would go to another team.
Mm-hmm.
So you would already have all of their rookies in your existing collection. Mark had mentioned, and this is something I've wondered how people collect as well. Retired players. Do you only collect through their, the player era, or do you, continue buying all of the, whatever inserts, and then, Upper Deck used to do like the legend sets, and Fleer did greats of the game. I was just kind of looking at, his PC focus. So Zach said his PC focus was Pudge, and we're talking Carlton Fisk here with the White Sox, but he still picked up the Boston-based cards because he played there first. And again, making a difference between whether they leave your team or if they come to your team and then you pick them up. Diego Will Myers has 3 teams, but he follows his career through cards. And that could be a difference. He's a Will Myers fan, but Will Myers hasn't been a Philly. So maybe he's more likely to collect him with everyone. So, I mean, there's a million different, not a million, but there's so many different scenarios involved that it, can impact, any of those, one of those things can impact how you potentially collect that player.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what.
Like I guess I was surprised. This poll turned out basically 2-1, right? Didn't it turn out like 66%, 33%, something in that area? So right. I was kind of surprised the no was as high as it was. I really figured it was going to be more like a 90-10 split. So I was actually a bit surprised by it. I do feel like, I'm exceptional. Some of that, and part of that poll was from being somebody basically calling me out saying I'm not a true player collector. I'm not a true player fan because I didn't collect his cards with another team. And that's just where it stems from. So call me out all you like. It's great. It's great topics.
Yeah, it is. It is. And like I said, which I collected Murphy back in the 90s when I was in it. And then, of course, I lost everything and it started back over in, 2018. And when I first got back into it, I'm like, I'm just going to stick with Murphy in a Braves uniform and just go with that. And then I ended up with a couple of Phillies, and I'm like, you know what? It's not but 3 or 4 years. Why not? I'm not going out and looking for the rare parallels or whatever. So until, like I said, if I end up with everything that I want from his Braves career, then yeah, I'll go back and start trying to pick up some of that stuff. But until then, no.
Well, and like Mark says, he'll take the new cards and trade, but he doesn't stress collecting them. And you could kind of be like that with Murphy. You're on Trading Card Database. If you're trading actively on Trading Card Database, you probably have every card on your want list that you don't have.
Right.
So you will accumulate them through trade, or you will find them in Bo's quarter box at the card show, and you'll say, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't think I have this one. I'll go ahead and snap it because it's a quarter."
Yep. Right.
So yeah, it's like I said, everybody collects differently. No two collections are alike.
Exactly. Yeah, I've when I first got on the trading card database, I went to Dale Murphy and I put in what I had, and everything else I added to my want list.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got to looking, the want list was ridiculous with all the especially like the non-playing year 1-of-1s, 1-of-5s, stuff that I know that I'll probably never have. So I just recently, like maybe 3 months ago, went back and cleaned all that up. So,
but it's always good. But I mean, hey, it's always good to have it on there because you just never know if you might get an offer.
Yeah, but I cleaned it all up. I took all the 1-of-1s, the 1-of-5s, and autos. I took those off because honestly, I'm not. And this goes back to it's kind of a variation of what you said. I'm not interested in a Pat pulled auto, even though I know that he signed it and it's genuine and whatever. If I was going to have a deal, which I do have Pat pulled autos, but it's one of those things that fell in my lap and I took it. But if I really wanted one that I was going to hold on to and think a lot of, it would be one that I got in person.
No,
not through the mail, not Pat pulled. It would be in person. As a matter of fact, I have a Rawlings baseball sitting on my shelf that's blank that I've always said that, anytime I think I may have a chance to meet him, like we're going to a game on the 23rd. It's a Braves game. And I'm trying to make plans to go by his the Murph's restaurant, hoping he'll be there. I'll have the ball with me.
Yeah, heck yeah. You'll just never know.
But if I'm at the game and I've got the ball and I get a chance to get Freddie Freeman's autograph on it, I will do that.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely.
Ideally, I would like to have both of them's autograph on the same ball. That would be like the perfect autograph ball for me.
So looking at some more comments. It's funny, somebody commented about him, but you mentioned, if we talk about collecting only one team or whatever, and you talk about somebody like Ricky Henderson, what he played for? He played for 18 teams, I think, something like that. But somebody like him, or say Kenny Lofton, who played a lot of years with Cleveland, a few years with Atlanta, and I think like the last 8 years of his career, he never played for the same team 2 years in a row. You're going to collect them likely with multiple teams, but again, everybody collects differently. So,
yep.
Good talk, everyone. I appreciate everyone chiming in.
Yeah, we appreciate the chat. So, and we'll kind of move on, but I did have a couple things I wanted to share that I've actually acquired this in the last couple of weeks, actually. But and I actually asked a question about this. I think it was on Bo's show. Was a card that I picked up for my 72 set that I kind of had some concerns about was the Pete Rose.
Make yourself big.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess I could. Hold on.
Show that bad boy off. Nobody needs to see this face anyway.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Whoa.
It's been so long, I forgot how to use it. Here we go.
There you go.
But, and my concern was, and I doubt I will get it to show on here, but beside the fact that this card is like super thin, it's, oh Lord, hold on. Here we go. It has some sort of lines on the back of it that I haven't seen. And I actually went through my set and looked at every other card that I had in the set. I don't see a card like this anywhere, and I was kind of concerned about it being a counterfeit.
You said it feels thinner than the other ones?
It is I would say half of what a normal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about 72s, but I mean, if it doesn't feel, if you've got hundreds of 72s and it doesn't feel like the other 72s, that's pretty disconcerting. I mean, I hate to say it.
Yep. And here was another
time in, maybe knows something that we don't. But yeah, I would say that's definitely disconcerting.
Yeah, and like I got this one off Facebook the other day, and I'm not going to blow it up. It's not that big a deal, but it's a high number. But I mean, even that one, just to hold the two cards in your hand at the same time, they just feel so much different. And I haven't seen a whole lot on like counterfeit 72s, but I know they're out there. They have to be,
But think of how hot Pete Rose cards were in the early '80s, and that was when we started.
Exactly.
I think you started seeing more counterfeit cards. I mean, when I first got into cards, my uncle that got me into collecting. I mean, he was a big Pete Rose fan, and that was one of the guys he collected, and he just there was a bunch of fakes out there.
Right. But yeah, like I said, and this card is for the condition that it actually looks in. It has one little nick in the upper left-hand corner, but in my opinion, it's not enough to warrant the price that I got it for. But I mean, for what I gave for it, I took a chance. I've got it. I'll look into it some more. I'll figure it out. I mean, if it is, I'll find out. I'll ask some people. I'll send some scans, whatever I got to do. But, I mean, for now, I've got it. So we'll see.
For now, and you've got it in the back of your head, and who's to say? I mean, I know you're trying to put together a better condition set. I am not condition sensitive. I am not I don't worry about condition so much on older stuff because I want to put the set together, and then if I want to upgrade, I can. But you could also maybe at some point down the road pick up a PSA 5. It's maybe not quite as good, you know what I mean? Not quite as good condition as your other stuff, but that it's real. You can crack it out, or you can leave it in there, or whatever you like to do.
Right.
That you have one at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's I don't know what really got me about this card was the fact that, and I bought it off eBay, but I paid $5 shipping for this card.
Yeah, I mean that seems a little too good to be true.
Okay, but hold on a minute. I'm not going to show the guy's address, but this is what I got it in. For $5 shipping.
Oh, wait. I thought you said you paid $5 shipped for the card.
No. It was $5 shipping. And this is what I got. Like I said, this is what I got it in.
Oh, that's bullshit right there.
This is the envelope. And I haven't reached out to the guy yet. I'm still trying to figure out about the authenticity of the card before and I hate to be that guy, but I may have got it cheaper than I should have, but the listing said nothing about a reprint or it was original. You know what I'm saying? So
does he have, has he listed other 72s? What's his feedback, things like that?
He has 100% feedback. I mean, even like his shipping rating is like 100%. And I don't know how if he's charging $5 and shipping in
I don't either.
Shipping in a PWE for 55 cents. But if I did that, I would take a hit quick.
Mm-hmm. And you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would reach out to him first on that. I mean, because I've thought about leaving negatives, and we're always like, oh, you should just reach out to him because that's BS. But then if he just like refuses to, take accountability or refund you, $4 shipping, then give him that negative feedback.
Yeah, and I hate to leave that. I hate to leave negative, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see what it says.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Follow up on that. We'll follow up on that next week.
Hold on, let's see.
All right. So one thing we talked about. So last weekend, I was on my way back from the post office and saw a little sign, like one of those little ones, you stick in the ground, almost like an election sign, and saw there was a new card shop. Well, I'm only like 3 miles from the post office, so looked like it was pretty close to me. So I decided on my way home, I had to go get some medicine bites for my dogs, and I was like, I was going to keep an eye on it, and I was literally just going to pull in, kind of poke my head in, just see what was in there, say hey. But then the sign was gone today, and I pulled in where I thought it was, and I didn't see anything. So who knows? Maybe more to come from me on that. We have lost Herman, so I will just take over the show.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. Well, where do you want to go now?
But feel free to take over. No, we'll let's see. There was one other thing, and I know this just chaps your drawers, but one other card I got, and it's something that I started Project 2020 late, but I had to go back and pick up the first 3, which were the earlier ones of the series. But I finally picked this up last week, and so now I'm down to 2 on the 2020 set. Jackie Robinson, and now we've lost Ken. We have actually lost Ken. You're muted, Ken.
2020, so it's probably best I just don't say anything.
But I mean, I've got all but 3. Well, now all but 2. So, I would like to finish it.
Are the two you need like early expensive ones, or how is
early?
that?
Yep. The last 2 I need now are Nolan Ryan and Don Mattingly, and they're both in the 150 range.
The only Project 2020 card that I actually desire to own was an early one. And I thought it was stupid when it was going for like $40, and I have no idea what it is now. I want to say, was there an artist named Taylor? Last name Taylor? Matt Taylor, maybe? Is that right? Anyway, it was a Ricky Henderson. It was the Ricky Henderson rookie, and it was kind of a black, but then it had all the neon colors on it. It was a pretty early one. I think it was within the first handful of weeks. That was a pretty sweet card. I do dig that one, but I'm not spending hundreds of dollars or whatever. It's not like that ever looked up. Matt Taylor, maybe? I don't know. You can tell how much I pay attention.
Right. And that's fine. I mean, like you said before, none of us, no 2 collect the same. So, Project 2020 was for some people. And hey, I mean, it wasn't for me in the beginning. I did not care anything about it until Blake Davidson came out with the Mark McGuire.
How about that? I was right. Taylor.
Yeah, Matt Taylor. But the Mark McGuire piqued my interest, and I picked it up, and then I actually ended up picking up the next card after that. And after I got to seeing them and got them here, I was like, I like to keep getting the rest of them, which I did. And that carried on into Project 70 or Project 70. I
like the ones JT did for my family.
Yeah, now I like his cards too, and I still need to get him to do mine because those are awesome. And the fact that he actually does them on a Project 2020 card makes it even better.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
So, all right. So where are we at now? What? So you had a rant on Bowman.
All right. So speaking of JT, so I texted JT and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a guy out of Bowman. If you open any, you pull any parallels, whatever. Not too interested in the base because he's a relief pitcher who is projected to if he makes the majors, he's projected to probably be a closer.
Mm-hmm.
Closers don't sell outside of Mariano Rivera, so not going to put a bunch of money into a base Bowman or a Bowman Chrome. But I was like, if you pull any parallels, pull an autograph, let me know. It's actually one of Bo's guys because he's a Cub, but I know his aunt from when I lived in Indianapolis. His name is Michael McAveen, and I had actually shown her a while back. I was like, or she showed me, I think, a picture. It was him with a bunch of autographed cards he'd been signing, like people do on Instagram, Twitter, the athletes. So anyway, I said something to JT. He's like, nope, don't have anything. So I looked it up. So I started eBaying stuff. Why in the hell does he only have autographed cards, but there's no base Bowman Chrome parallels? The only things are autographs. And I am sorry. That is stupid. Go ahead, y'all. Tell me how dumb I am, but that is stupid. So now he's got a Bowman autograph. Now if he's in the Bowman set in 3 years, so he has a Bowman autograph, and then he has a Bowman first that's 3 years later. Is that how this works? Or does he not have a potential at a Bowman first now? This is stupid. F you, Tops. You can sit on it and spin.
I had the same conversation with guy on Twitter, the Dingo.
Okay, Donnie.
Dingo guy. Donnie.
The Dingo guy.
Dingo dude. I'm sorry.
Dude, yeah, dude.
All right. Well, we were having the same conversation about and I know I'm gonna mess his name up, but Inoa from Atlanta, the pitcher, that is he's like the next Shohei Ohtani. I mean, dude hitting grand slam. He's hitting grand slams and pitching. He could be the DH. But we got to looking the other night. Me and Donnie got to looking, and the only card that he has that's been published to this day are all autograph cards. Just like what you're saying. He has no playing base or first ballman or nothing. They're all autos.
Stupid. Effing stupid. F you, Tops. And Tops, why don't you have any customer service? Why do you not reply to people tweeting at you? Are you that freaking cheap you can't hire a person to run your social media other than to just tweet out new product crap?
Yep.
People suck.
They had a good one at one time, but not now.
I mean, you're from the Sioux?
Yep.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't even really, I don't think, her job. She just was kind enough to be out there and acknowledge what she did. I mean, she was their social media face, and that wasn't even really her job, I don't believe. No, I mean, I think we all love Suze. She is definitely the first lady of the hobby, at least in my opinion.
Exactly. And I love her, what does she call them?
Card chat?
Card chats. I love them. I don't always comment on them, but I love the questions that she poses and just reading through the answers. I mean, that's great. You know,
so do I count? Do I get to count the Tops pathetic customer service as a rant?
Go for it.
Okay, that's rant number 3. Still got 1 to go.
No, there was only 2.
No, the Bowman rant. the Tops rant there, and I had a rant earlier about something.
Oh,
Every
well,
channel being the same.
I kind of just put all them together.
Well, no, I'm trying to go for a record. I'm trying to go for a show record here.
Okay, well then you got 3.
I think I've already said it.
I'll give you one more because I know you have one.
I got one more. All right. Guess what hobby company this one's about? Because the third time is a charm, Tops. Okay. So Bo can probably hop in on this, or he can at least confirm what I'm saying. Because early on, it seemed like we would get our WWE Tops Living cards. You're ordering weekly, and we would get them 2 at a time. And it was like almost they were printing 2 weeks at a time. I have no problem with that. I'm completely cool with that. So now, last week, I got 3 weeks worth of Tops packages for the same thing, WWE Living, on the same day. All right, here's my rant. If you're going to print 2 weeks or even 3 weeks, I'm still good with that. Print them all. Yeah, I don't need them within a handful of days. Why in the hell, especially I have the subscription, so I'm getting 2 weekly. I'm getting every week. I bought every card, just one. If you're only going to print every 2 or 3 weeks, why can't you put those together? I received in my mailbox 3 bubble envelopes this damn thick, because 2 cards for each of the 3 weeks. They're inside a 25 count box. And then they're inside the Tops Living box. And then they're inside bubble wrap. And then they're inside a top loader a bubble mailer that's like this big. They're ginormous. They're like Amazon bubble mailers. Why in the hell can't you put those 6 cards together and ship one package? You're just wasting, because most of us throw most of that crap away. I actually reuse some supplies, so I do actually get reuse out of them. You're baking in the price of shipping in these cards.
Yep.
Why in the hell can't you put 6 of them together and in one package and take a few bucks off my shipping? You're wasteful, you're overcharging customers, and your customer service sucks. All right, I'm done. That's 4.
Can we get 5? Can we find something else for Ken to rant about?
You got 12 minutes to get me fired up. I'm sure somebody in the chat can get me fired up. But seriously, if you want to just print once a month, if you want to print once a month, personally, I'm good with that. I know that would suck for those people on eBay that buy them in bulk and then resend. I know that would be bad. I'm speaking strictly for myself. I would be good with, if you only wanted to print and ship once a month. That's fine. But ship them together. Stop wasting so much. This hobby is so wasteful.
Or even if they could, even for printing every week, whatever, that's fine. But just say all right, so you're still collecting the living set of WWE, right? Is that what I gather? You're still ordering?
For now. I'm going to still, I'm on a subscription. I'm actually going to see if I can cancel it.
Why not have an option to where if you know you're going to collect and you're going to keep buying, to order and hold. And say in 3 months' time, if you want your 4, 8, 12, if you want your 12 cards, send all 12 of them at one time.
I agree. For
those that's ordering in bulk, for eBay resales or whatever, they can get theirs however they want to. But for people like you that are doing it for the set, just hold and ship at one time.
And like I said, it's not even the fact that they're baking that in there and overcharging for me. Honestly, I'm just disgusted at how much we as a collective hobby waste. using Scotch tape on top loaders, and then the next guy throws them away.
Yep.
How many bubble mailers a year do you think are used in this hobby one time?
Yep.
How many team bags are used one time?
Not with both.
And I mean, no. I mean, I reuse just. I think we talked about this. I think the only thing I don't reuse that a lot of people do is I don't reuse the blue tape for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess I just don't really want to have it like stuck to the desk here. But I mean, I reuse most things, and that's I think. And if you guys know me, you know I'm no tree hugging hippie over here. But come on. Think the plastic off the plastic off the team bags.
Yeah. Well, go back to top loaders. I mean, for all intent and purposes, there is a shortage on top loaders right now.
Yes, another good point.
With the prices, I mean, there's obviously some sort of shortage. So why would you put something on a top loader that's going to just make it unusable for the next guy?
Because my job is just to get you the card in good condition. That's what people. No, I'm saying that's what people say, and I honestly want to punch them right in their dicks so they can reproduce.
Yeah.
Is that count? That counts 5. Do I get 5 for that? Yeah, I think I get 5 for that.
Well, we'll give you 5 for that. But I don't know, and I. Personally, I reuse as much as I can, even just like the box that you sent me the cards in for me to list on eBay. I cut it up and used the I cut it up into like top loader squares to use
the priority mailbox itself is what you're referring to. Yeah, no, absolutely. I see so many people pull those. When people do that and send them to me, keep those, and then I don't actually usually cut stuff up because I've got so many of those that I've collected from other people sending me stuff. But yeah, it's just this hobby's so wasteful, and I've been intending to write a post on my website on that for about 3 years now, but someday I'll get to that.
Right, exactly.
Thanks, Tops. Screw you. And the horse you rode in on.
So, what else? So, what else we got? We've pretty much blown through what we had.
I feel like I've done all talking, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, I've kind of been out of sorts the last couple of weeks, so, and I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back into it. Things are looking up, so personally, as far as my household, we're good. It's kind of been something outside the house, so. Well, and having new grandkids being born, that's one thing.
Yeah. And life. This is a hobby. Yeah, I mean, George, jokingly, he's like, everybody needs to hug the tree. He's getting the black lung over here from the air pollution. I did see his tweet with those pictures. But yeah, I'm no, tree hugging hippie, but man, I mean, my city makes it easy to recycle. I have a recycling bin. I throw my recycling in there. Come on, guys. I mean, I'm not trying to get too societal here, but let's do a little bit of something. And like I said, it's, just reusing supplies. I mean, hell, even the yellow top loaders, they got to have some use. If you got a team bag, you got a lot of cards in a team bag, just put the damn yellow top loaders over the top of them.
Make a backbone out of it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But, it's like, it's getting that way everywhere because I know, like, and I don't know how many people know, but I work in heating and air industry, and like the boxes that we get over the big units, the outdoor unit's pretty big. Mm-hmm. It comes in a cardboard box. Well, I've noticed in the past month or so that the boxes we get have labels on them on how to reuse and repurpose the cardboard box.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, make a playhouse out of it for your kids. There's like 4 or 5 things listed on it, but I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. To me, I'm looking at
dogs love boxes.
They do. I tell you, toddlers love them too at Christmas. Mm-hmm. They play with the boxes more than they do the gift.
Yes, you are 100% right. That doesn't work with my stepson anymore. He's 19, or is he 20? He's 19, 20, 20, 20. 19. He'll be 20 later this year. Doesn't work the same with him anymore. He actually wants what's in the box.
Mark actually just reminded me of something, and I hate that he's not going to be here. But this coming Saturday is going to be our next hobby roundtable on this channel. I think he's actually the third person that's had to bow out this week, but we will be continuing on, and we will have some a lot of our usuals, and I may place in a couple of new guys in that I'm gonna reach out and see if they want to join us. So, and that's for anybody that's watching that doesn't know. We shoot for the third weekend of every month for the Hobby Roundtable, and this month will be the 17th, which will be next weekend. So, if you're around and don't have anything to do, around 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be on. Love to have you in, and join the chat. It's really not really nothing scheduled, but we just kind of talk about what we want, what's going on. I think Dan, he's expressed some interest in sharing some recent pickups, which I've kind of just blown through mine, but I've got a few more coming in. So,
yeah, man, I think I burnt through everything I had to say tonight. I don't know if I got anything left for Saturday.
I will come up with something. I mean,
I'm sure somebody will piss me off.
At the very least, there's some pre car show talk, because I think pretty much everybody's going to a car show the next weekend. So between Dallas and I think there's a couple others. Madison,
right? Or is that this weekend?
Yep, Bow Show. Yep, Bow Show. And then I'm going to one in Spartanburg. So
all right.
But
you want to go ahead and I guess did we want to do the shout out? Oh, I forgot. I shouldn't have said anything.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. We can do it.
So did want to do a quick shout out. I'll tell him that we did the shout out, and hopefully he'll follow, and he might start joining in because he does interact with the YouTube community a lot. And some of you may follow him, but I'm going to shout out Victor Negron Bard, and I think you're going to post a link to him. So Victor is in New York, and he's got maybe 800 followers, maybe it's 600. He's got a lot of followers, but he has been on YouTube for a long time, and like most of us that are in this chat, he is a true collector. He is a New York guy, so he collects Yankees. So you'll collect Yankees, Giants. He's a big Bernie Williams collector. Rangers a little bit, Knicks, and then I believe he is of Puerto Rican descent, so he collects Puerto Rican players. His are just, his videos are just showing off cards, on camera, not looking at him. He's got his little background, just showing off cards. It's just a fun watch to see some of these things. It'll show some of these cards from the 90s or 2000s that all of us have forgotten. But that is my YouTube shout out for tonight.
And I don't think I've followed him, so that'll be ones that I can add.
Yeah, like I said, just if you like the guys that are just the collectors and just show off stuff. And he posted, I was going to use his last week. I think it was last Monday, maybe last Sunday. He mentioned in his video, and he was just like, he's talking about how things are different now. Things are more expensive. We've all got, collect a little differently, but now's a great time to just show off and enjoy what you have. We all tend to focus on what we're going to get next, what we want, what's coming, but we don't spend enough time showing off and appreciating the things that we already do have. And I just thought that was a great point that he made, and that was definitely what made me want to give him as the shout out for the week. Yeah, he has these he'll have beer binders, all kinds of different things that he does. But it's just showing off his collection.
Right.
And it's a good time, good watch.
So, all right, Kim, before we go, check your chat real quick.
Uh-oh.
And
Are you yelling at me?
no.
I don't know. Let's pass on that.
All right, we'll pass on that. We'll go ahead and end it right here. Like I said, if you're in and you're usually on the Hobby Roundtable, reach out to me in the DM and let me know that you'll be in. If not, let me know. That way I know what spots I need to fill, if any. I know Mark has reached out and said he wouldn't be able to go because his daughter's getting married, which congratulations, by the way. I think it depends on the son-in-law. But yeah, I mean, and that way, if we need to fill some spots, we will, or we may just roll what we got. But and those of you that usually watch, we look forward to having you in chat, and that's on the 17th at 8, and we'll see everyone then. Take care.